gotta be against the law to look this damn good. Watch out now. Cause baby, I feel real good and I wish I would. Watch out now. It's gotta be against.
Wake up! Yep, it's that time again. Vape AM brought to you by vapers1.com. I'm your host, Anthony Ramella. Well, it's Thursday, guys, and as a lot of you know, it's my favorite day of the week. If you can see my shirt, I got a That's What She Said shirt from one of the retailers that does that for them. Danielle Jones actually does a lot of the designing for that. I did customize the back of mine, though, that's very particular, and it's pretty fun. So I'm actually going to do a short little video on Instagram to show you what the back of the shirt looks like. Now, this is a one-off. I actually made this myself, but I think the girls at That's What She Said will actually get a kick out of it. So Vapers_Toledo is where we'll be posting that, so, and probably on my personal Instagram as well, but that'll be after the show. All right, guys, as you know, we always do a little bit of history, so I found another one today I thought was pretty poignant, and it's not really funny, but I think it proves a point about, sometimes you have to make a stand when it comes to certain things. So today in history, Muhammad Ali was actually convicted for not going with the draft and going into Vietnam. So and a lot of people would call this draft dodging. Basically, he had cited religious reasons why he did not want to be part of this. And I think there was such an uprising about this during that time period that there was a huge march on Washington. And it just shows that some people, no matter what their status is as far as how famous they are, still do have morals and still do understand what's right and what's wrong. And in my personal opinion, I think this was the right thing to do. I think that if our country wasn't completely behind that movement for doing that, that the people that wanted to be behind it should have went. But to do a draft in this particular situation, I think was maybe not the best thing. I mean, obviously hindsight is 20/20, and we know what happened with the Vietnam War. And the good news about this is this conviction was actually overturned 4 years later. So it's nice to see that, there are things that can change, and I'm hoping with the vaping industry, it's one of those situations where we just stand up and say no, and eventually they figure out that, yes, we were probably right in this situation. So just a little bit of history for you guys today. Always do some birthdays. There are some pretty fun ones today. Let me go through the list. McLovin's birthday is today. No one would actually know his real name, so that's why I'm not using it. But if you guys know who that is, it is his birthday today. John Goodman's birthday is today, so that's pretty cool. I've been a follower of John Goodman for a long time, all the way back to Roseanne and before that, and he has just consistently been a great actor throughout the years. Great character actor and always fills a gap when you need him. I just think he's really, really funny. And last but definitely not least today, we have two more. Nicole Kidman's birthday is today, and one of the guys that I do mimic some songs from, Lionel Richie's birthday is today. So hello, happy birthday. So just some fun birthdays today, but there were quite a few ones that I recognized and were at least famous to me. So I wanted to point those out to you guys. So happy birthday to you all. Don't forget about vapers1.com. Obviously, that's how I keep doing this show. We are, like I said, revamping that website, so you're going to see some lower prices really hitting. But one of the things we want to do for you, because we know that there's some taxes and this Tobacco 21 thing, if you're under the age of 21, you are really going to be in a hard place here in a few months to be able to purchase vape products. So with that, we're giving you a coupon code for the website, so it's just VAPEAM15 all together. I don't think it's case sensitive, but we did use lowercase on that, so just VAPEAM15 will get you 15% off of your entire purchase over at vapers1.com. All right, guys, time for some Wake and Vape news. So yesterday I was speaking to a gentleman on the phone who has some influence in the industry, and the Vapor Technology Association, the VTA, sent this down to me. This is one of the leaders of that group. I believe he's either second in command or something like that, and it's someone actually close to him that sent this to me. But there's an update from New York. New York was actually trying to push a flavor ban through. I'm going to read some of this for you guys so I don't misquote these things, but I think this is fantastic. So flavor ban update. Good news. Thanks to quick work by the VTA lobbying team on the ground in Albany, and by those all that answered the call to action last week, generating more than 5,000 legislative contacts. Fantastic. For those of you out there that did that, I think that's an awesome thing to get that many people to actually respond to this. And actually that happened in less than 12 hours. So 5,000 people contacted in less than 12 hours. That is the kind of response I'm looking for. That shows that these people really believe that flavors are definitely an important part of the quitting smoking process. It was called A47, was the flavor ban bill, was not placed on the latest committee agenda. So that's some really good news. That means it's not something that got voted down, but it isn't even going to be on their agenda, which is really great. Now, it does go on to say that, however, the Codes Committee is anticipated to meet several more times before the end of the legislative session this week. So A47 could be taken up at any time with the Codes Committee or while the Codes Committee is still active. So it could come back up, but after beating it this one time and having that many people call in, I think they're probably going to stay away from that, and I think that's really good. So that was a bit of positive news, and I know I don't get to bring you guys that much positive news anymore, so I definitely wanted to do that. So there is one other thing I wanted to mention on this, because he did share another piece of information, and I think it's important for me to pass on to you guys. They were talking about the ATA, and yesterday senators tried to move on SB 6076 on the Senate floor. This bill would have placed a cap on nicotine in e-liquid to 2%. Now, this is an ill-conceived bill that would have killed New York's e-liquid manufacturers, but the VTA team immediately went to work lobbying the Senate sponsors, Senate members, as well as key Senate staff to have the bill held on the floor. Our lobbying team will continue to monitor the situation as well as educate members and staff on the unintended consequences this bill would impact New York businesses and continue to work to have SB 6076 held from the Senate floor. They're going to do everything they can to keep this away, but capping your nicotine level at 2% would probably just kill the industry in New York. Most people are, I mean, I'm at 3%. Most people are 6, 12. I mean, it just depends. I mean, your salt nic devices are upwards of 35 to 50%. So you need to definitely take a look at this. I mean, 2%. I mean, you'd be using so much liquid that there's no way that you'd be able to keep up with that, and it just wouldn't satisfy you. So these are the kind of things that are coming down the pike, and I just want you guys to be aware of it. One last thing, I did watch the new Regulator Watch. Now, this is a Canadian version of some of the vlog shows. It's very professional looking, but the one thing that I wanted to let you know of, that show's really long, the one that they currently have going right now, and I would definitely recommend that you watch it, but kind of just shorten it all into a little ball. The judgment against the FDA, the judge wanted to put a 4-month restriction and said, hey, all the PMTAs have to be in 4 months. The FDA has basically come back and said, I really don't think you can put limits on our time period, but if you absolutely have to, we could probably achieve it in 10 months. So those of you out there that have an e-liquid company, I would strongly suggest you start getting your PMTAs together right away. Do everything you can to get this done as quickly as possible. Those of you that are actually planning on doing that, because this is something that could happen really quickly. And if the FDA is handing out a possible 10-month, that judge is probably going to jump all over that. So, and that's not a very long period of time for all the paperwork and things that have to be checked with the products that you're submitting. So, just wanted to let you know about that. Make sure that you keep an eye on this, because this case has been moving and moving and moving, and it's only been happening in the last 30 days. So we got to make sure that we're keeping an eye on it. All right, guys, I don't want to keep you too long today. Remember, the goal here at Vape AM is to stop smoking or you're going to die. All right, tune in tonight to That's What She Said. You'll get a lot of great information. Those 5 women really have a good old time. All right, you guys have a great rest of the day, and I will see you tomorrow. And for all you smokers that don't know, check it out. Pick up the phone, hit the mic, vapers1.com is the site. They got what you need to make the switch. You're never gonna find a better site than this. They got mods, they got coils, and the liquid low down. Vapers1.com is the best around. Spend $35 and your shipping's free. Vapers1.com, we got all you need. So just click, quit, done. Vapers1.com.